idea of a successful government can only exist if people that disagree can respect each other's opinions. The sad part about everything that you're seeing is kids are seeing it too. We got a lot of news to get in today. Before we get into that, let's get into this. Please do remember that the New Right Party channel and the New Red Party show is sponsored by patriots like you. And as long as you're sending these donations, it allows me to create the content that will continue to make these motherfuckers sick. As you were.
Versus the family and my family entertainment and his team no sleep. Flossy high and yeah we made it. The haters keep on hating on the songs that we be making, and I heard they want my soul. Illuminati wanna take it. Versus the family and my family entertainment and his team no sleep.
Shout out to everybody in the building. You know, but everything that you're seeing today, right now, kids are watching. Kids are seeing adults in the streets with no respect for one another, attacking each other. And the kids are watching and they're seeing this. And it's learned and accepted behavior. The Democrats will not win the House back. They will not win the House back because before that happens, we have Turning Point USA. We have people that are spreading the truth, and the truth is something that's it's hard for you to say. It's true. I mean, when you hear it, this shit just makes common sense. Shout out to Shane. Shout out to Subconscious. Shout out to Live Free or Die. We got some news we got to get into. But before we get into that, I want to show you a common denominator when it comes to the Democrats. Matter of fact, let's get into some news first. That's what we're going to do. Let's get into my guy, Sean Hannity.
Now, coming up, we're going to have full hurricane coverage. But first,
now, instead of the Democrats using their resources that they have to get people in buses to help with the hurricane relief effort, taking the large amounts of cash that they have and actually donating it to people that can actually use it, they're taking people and busing them and hoteling them from city to city. The same people, same group of people. And this is how they squander their money. They don't take the resources that they have and help anyone. It's never about helping anyone. It's clearly about making you fight so they can get power, so they can take away your power from you. You live in these states and these cities that are ran by Democrats, and all you feel is the foot on your neck. to sell your own damn CDs that you're making. If you know, it could be home CDs. You still need a permit. You need a permit in order to fish. People, you need a permit in order to fish. You need permits in order to hunt. And the most strenuous of regulations comes from democratic states and cities. They won't allow you to use firearms with bow and arrows. I don't fucking know about you, but if I'm in the woods and a mountain lion is coming after me, I want a fucking gun. As I disclosed on yesterday's show, these people have divided the country. During Barack Obama's administration, they enacted the white guilt. Since the time of the black American being freed, the Democrats have worked tirelessly to enslave them again. Every policy that I've ever talked about on this show that hinders poor Americans have been established by Democrats. They're showing you people outside, but those protesters are white protesters suffering from white guilt, a syndrome invented during Barack Obama's administration, where they use the media to promote the propaganda that somehow if you're white, you're racist, unless you're a part of the Democratic Party. The only thing with that is every civil rights leader were against Democrats. You cannot find one civil rights leader that was for them. There was no civil rights when it came to the Democratic Party. I disclosed to you yesterday how they are literally locking up poor Americans within their counties, cities, and states for having firearms in their homes where they didn't intend to harm anyone, simply because they needed to have the protection which is guaranteed by the Constitution. Yet these people have enacted laws within their counties and states that hinder you from your constitutional rights. And it's done so predominantly on poor Americans, black, Hispanics, and other migrants, Italians. Yeah, Italians. You have rappers like T.I. coming out and advocating for the Democratic Party. And he had a bunch of guns in his house. And up, because he already had a felony, which was for drugs, they gave him prison time. Does he not understand that the same people that locked him up in the first place are the same people he's now advocating for? I want to take a shot at the brother's intellect. I don't want to come off disrespectful, but I've been to jail. I did some real time. I'm not cool with the fact that they did that to me. Black men do not understand how important the flag is because the Democrats have failed in showing them the guarantees of the Constitution. All the while holding a government check in front of their face and saying, if you don't vote for us, they will take away the handouts. Instead of the idea of working to ascertain the things that you want, they want you stuck. All poor Americans. Stuck receiving a handout and counting on them to give it to you. But what they do is, when you're on Section 8, ladies, they make sure you can't have a man in that home, because they don't want you to have the help of getting out of your situation. They have created an atmosphere where men and women are saying they do not need each other, when God says that you do. They have removed God from our lives. The decency of the commandments, thou shalt not bear false witness. In order for them to do these things and for it to work, they would have to remove God.
With just 27 days to go until the all-important midterm elections, the most important in our lifetime, we're going to break down exactly what is at stake tonight. In the wake of Judge Kavanaugh's historic confirmation, well, the far-left mob, and it is a mob in many cases, they're more petulant than ever. And tonight, they're being spurred on by some very despicable comments. Eric Holder, Hillary Clinton, Cory Booker, and of course, Congresswoman Maxine Waters. In moments, we're going to show you how Democrats are literally trying to bludgeon, bully, and smear their way to victory in November. Plus, we have a very important warning from Senator Rand Paul. We should all heed this warning. We're going to tell you how the fragile word police over at fake news CNN are stopping anyone from using the word mob to describe angry mobs of protesters confronting Republicans all over the country. And we'll also roll out 10 more House races. This will decide in 27 days the balance of them. This includes the former Attorney General, Eric Holder. Watch this.
Michelle Obama, I love her. You know, she and my wife like really tight.
She and my wife like really tight. First of all, we don't believe nothing he's talking about. All right, well, he said kick him. He's a fuck boy. But then this bitch here, the audacity.
Civil with a political party that wants to destroy what you stand for, what you care about.
Are we the fuck outside destroying property? Do you see a bunch of Republicans in Democratic cities and states destroying fucking property? Or do you see Democrats destroying Democratic properties, Republican properties, and assaulting Republicans? Who's not being civil? Do you understand what I'm saying about how these people take this shit and then just throw it right back at you? But the reason why it's not going to work with me, because when they try to do this to me on TV, I'm going to tell them, shut up. Shut up. Shut the fuck up. Shut your fucking pie hole. And when they say, oh, how dare you, I'm going to say, no, how fucking dare you? Sit here and then spin this shit and fucking lie. As if this shit is not affecting my life. As if the fucking games you people are playing on these fucking television shows where you just spin this shit and smile. The fucking Democrat repundants, all they do is sit there and spin it and then smile and laugh as if they can toss the blame to someone else or on someone else or talk about something else. When we talking about the facts, these motherfuckers always try to do it. But when I'm on their show, I'm going to tell them, shut the fuck up. It's not going to work. You don't even know what the fuck you talking about. These motherfuckers don't own businesses. They're not providing jobs for Americans. Hillary Clinton has never... She was on the board of Walmart. She's the CEO on the board of Walmart. She's never started a corporation or a business. She's never employed people that's allow people to have careers to feed their families. These people start off with their parents' money, and then they suck us dry. One thing you're going to find out when you look up these Democrats is every last one of them have holdings from banks. This is this bitch's net worth in 2015. Now, we know it's worth a lot more now because she has a home worth $4 million, Max CPAD Waters. But if you look towards the end, you see that it says One United Bank. You see that it says commercial banks. And anytime you see real estate in there, just know it's banks. That's another ploy that these people use. Everything here, these are top industries invested. People in these are the top assets that she has. Reported is 2015. But what I'm trying to show you is that even though we know it's a lot more now, you see that there is banks involved. How can these people be the voices for the poor when the banks are funding them and they can't even give the banks to fund you? Let's go to Homo Booker. Oh, don't let this motherfucker give you the googly eye. Don't let him give you the googly eye. This is as of 2014. Right now, currently is worth a lot more money. But again, I want you to look at something in here. Bank of America. Scottrade. Look at what you look and see when you're searching to find these bastards. There's always a bank involved or real estate. You cannot have real estate without having banks involved. And when you're playing at the tune of 3 million, 40,500 in real estate, that's a whole lot of real estate. Especially for a state like California, where the return on home investment is very, very low. Actually, I believe it's the lowest in the nation, or if not one of the lowest. But when you go and you do some searching, you find that all of them are like this. All of them have a bunch of money, and they're all tied to banks, but they can't seem to get the banks to give you shit. They can't seem to get the banks to stop on foreclosures in their districts, cities, or states. Nope. But they get a lot of money from them. Y'all gotta excuse me, man. I got I think I like slept wrong on my neck. It's like I can't really move it. This shit hurts so bad. Every last one of them tied up to a bank. Not one of them can get a bank to give you shit. And I'm not talking about one person in particular. I'm talking about the city, the people in which they're responsible for. How could these people be the voice of your community when they haven't done shit for your community? This president has been willing and eager to go to the table with them and try his best to work with them, and they don't want to go forward with it. Because they would rather fuck up everything that you have, you love, and hold dear, so they can say only they can fix the problem. These people are devils, and the color of their skin does not change uh, um, who they are. Because they're telling you that it's white Republican men doing it, and it's not. It's black, Asian, Hispanic, and white, and Indian Democrats that are doing it. And I explained to you, most of them aren't going to ever be shit. They're just tools, crabs in the barrel. Outside this barrel, with its crabs, and the crabs are in there, there's the Bilderberg, Council of Foreign Relations, Trilateral, you know, the people who really run shit. And whenever one of these crabs get to the top, they pull them out and they put that ass in boiling water. It always happens. No one gives a fuck about what Hillary Clinton has to say. We know what the fuck a mob looks like. Let me get on their show and I say it's a mob, and Donna Lemonade's like, hold up. I'm gonna say, no, you hold up. You can't tell me what to think. This is how I see it. I don't have to agree with you because you saying this is how you see it, Donna, dummy. Sellouts like him, people. This is a fucking mob. Let me explain something to you.
Station, you get out and you create a crowd.
This old bitch is sitting there yelling at these fucking white folks, because that's all that's there is white guilt. White guilt. Black don't crack, but on this bitch's sword, it sure do sag everywhere. I wonder if that's like a mask, and if they're all really like aliens, like in the show V, and if she can just pull that whole thing off, and then it shows the reptilian body that's under that whole little get up that this little evil bitch has on. This saggy face bitch looks like aged American bulldog with a wig on it. This bitch looks like a melting ice cream with a saggy comb and a wig on it. The only people outside screaming yeah are white people. Look, no Hispanics, because they know who this bitch is. She got all this gold on her fingers and on her neck. She always have, you know, these designer wigs on her head. And she takes that shit off when she gets in the house. She takes that girdle off. She lets her nuts hang out. And then Maxie Pad says, as Maxie's looking in the mirror, damn Max, you've gone far. Apparently not far enough. If I took a bunch of gangsters, some Crips from Brooklyn, and I just started to find out where these motherfuckers like to eat, and we started ganging up on them, telling them to get the fuck out, do you know how they would make us look? There is no Republicans outside jumping on anyone and telling them to leave from anywhere where they're sitting with their families or guests or loved ones having a meal. This bitch is inciting a riot. She's inciting for all of those people there to find themselves in harm's way. And it's a little of no regard, because then as soon as you defend yourself, they're going to say it's your fault.
And you push back on them. And you tell them they're not welcome anymore, anywhere.
Please don't just come here today and then go home. Go to the Hill today. Get up and...
You see how he can't even inspire you with his lie. He's so gay and in the ass with the bullshit is ridiculous. He can't even inspire you. There is nothing about this cocksucker here that screams to you, man. Commander-in-chief. Boss. El Capitan Patron. Nothing about this cocksucker. Nothing. These people are rich off of banks, put money in their pocket, so they can continue to sell us out.
And please, get up in the face of some Congress people.
You know,
I will smack the shit out of him.
with rhetoric like that, is it any surprise that Republicans across the country have been literally harassed
I would smack the shit out of him. I would smack the shit out of Homo Booker.
by angry mobs, left-wing activists? Just a few days ago, we witnessed members of Congress getting shouted down on Capitol Hill, harassed in elevators, stalked in airports, run out of restaurants, and even one instance where a Republican congressman was assaulted inside his own office after a horde of protesters kicked in his door. In Portland, Oregon, far-left activists blocking traffic, assaulting commuters. Meanwhile, you have Florida Attorney General Pam Bondi, Homeland Security Secretary Nielsen, Senator Ted Cruz, Press Secretary Sarah Sanders, all recent targets of the far-left mob. But over at fake news CNN, their word police, well, they've taken over. Believe it or not, some of their hosts are actually shaming guests for using the proper term, which is mob. Would they want their liberal friends run out of restaurants?
Nope.
Like Sarah Sanders, Pam Bondi,
Nope.
Secretary Nielsen?
Nope.
Watch this.
When you see people like Ted Cruz getting chased out of restaurants by a mob,
You know, it's fucked up. It's fucked up to be in this country right now and be white. I'm gonna tell you right now, it's so fucked up, especially if you're a white man. And I'm sorry, white women, I know y'all got it bad too, but the left has created an air of pure hatred for white men in this country. For white men that provide jobs, for white men that have stuck to the values of the Republican Party because their parents were Republicans and believed in less government and freed men and women. The thing about the Republican Party is you can't change how it started. If you join in the party, it's because you believe in the values that it initially started with. Of course, we have globalists on the Republican Party. That's why I'm here to expose them. Alex Jones exposes them. There's a bunch of people out here exposing them. If y'all knew how much pain this shit is, man. It's crazy. There's a bunch of people exposing them. The one thing you don't hear often, though, is too many Republicans being exposed. Because the whole principle of being a Republican is believing that God has given you the life and has granted you the liberty to be free. The Democrats are the villains, and they're the people blaming those who are the heroes. Classic Bugs Bunny mindfuck. Classic Bugs Bunny mindfuck. Yes, you are. 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 No, you're not. You ask them about policies that they created, and you ask Hillary Clinton about due process for her husband, and should he have due process or should he be looked into, and she'll say, I believe women should be heard, but in this case, this was a different time. Whoopi Goldberg saying it wasn't rape. Joy Behar groping Robin Williams' penis. All of these things I expose on my Instagram if you follow it. There is an air of do as I say and not as I do on the Democratic Party. And they think by using their media to funnel the lies that people are falling for. But here's a new flash. Here's a real news flash. No one believes the media. The people stopped believing in the media years ago. When I was a kid coming up, everyone that I knew coming up knew not to trust the news. Unless it was Fox. I'm dead serious. When you check the ratings, you'll see that Fox has held it down for a very, very long time. There have been people on Fox that have been fired for even telling the truth. This is how conservatives roll. I don't see any conservatives on this side telling you go outside and punch a bunch of people in the face. I may tell you to defend yourself, but I don't tell you to go outside and just go do dumb shit to people. Have all these college kids outside fighting each other for no reason. Listen to this. Thought police.
I'm not going to use the mob word here.
It's totally a mob. It is without a doubt. There's no other word for it. It's a go watch it. Put up the video.
Mob. Stop.
That is mob behavior.
Everybody stop. Matt, we already did that. We already said they weren't mobs.
We already said.
Mob,
so that's it.
It's people who are
we finalized it.
Angry with the way that
we already said it, so it's final. It's a fact now, and you can't say it. You can't have an opinion. You can't say it. Not on this network. You're going to change the narrative. You can't change the narrative on this network. We create a narrative and spin a narrative on this network.
The way the country is going and the policies that these people... Will you let me finish, Matt, please, before you jump in? Okay?
Will you see? Do you see? Do you see how... Do you see? Did you not see that? Don't let him argue his point. Don't let him put names out there. No.
While the left-wing media, fake news, CNN, they're asking you not to believe your lying eyes. You, the American people, of course, you know better. Your head is not buried in the ground like theirs, and you know a mob when you see one.
We believe survivors. Tomatoes way hotter than you do. We believe survivors. We believe survivors. God bless you. We believe survivors.
God bless you. God bless you. Kirsten Nielsen is in a Mexican restaurant of all places. Gold. Shame on you.
Like all this is the listen to how racist that was. And you're in a Mexican restaurant, how dare you? This is how racist this is. Let me break it down to you real quick, people. To not want illegals in your country means that you do not want to pay for people that's not supposed to be here legally. But eating in a Mexican restaurant doesn't mean that all Mexicans are illegal immigrants. And by her saying that, it makes it seem as if they are. Do you not see that? Do you not see it? And then you eat in the Mexican restaurant, how dare you? There are Chinese illegals, Indian illegals. I believe there's probably more Indian illegals than Chinese. There's tons of illegals from all over the world. But she would say he has the nerve to eat in a Mexican restaurant when a Mexican restaurant is in the United States of America. Can't understand it. He didn't sneak across the border to go get some Mexican food. That's not what happened.
Why are you separating families? Why don't you leave my husband alone?
No, he's not.
I'm not trying to be separated. I'm not trying to be separated. Yeah, brother. Yeah, you little white little. Really? Come on now. You're a fighting little whitey, aren't you? The First Amendment. Get the bro.
This is someone's grandfather. He could have had a heart attack. He could have had a stroke. This is someone's grandfather, someone's father, someone's brother. This is an elderly man. And no matter who you are, no matter what party you're with, you're not supposed to be outside attacking no one. That could be your grandfather or your father. This is the times we live in. Who knows if this man had an emergency? He could have just left the funeral. Could have just lost his job. Life happens to everybody. He pulled over though because he wasn't no fucking sucker. He was like, nah, fuck that. I'm with the shits. Fuck you mean? Y'all gonna stop banging on my shit.
That's a mob. Now, Congresswoman Maxine Waters, who called on the mob to harass conservatives at gas stations and grocery stores, etc., she's actually now audaciously blaming President Trump, of course. Watch this.
We cannot allow Donald Trump and anybody else
devil.
to take protest away from us and to deem it to be violent.
She got that choke on her neck because she want to hide that saggy ass throat she got. So she have to put something over it to hide that saggy ass frog neck she got. This bitch is not human. I'm starting to believe, Zaki, that these people are reptilian. I'm really starting to believe it because she doesn't even fucking look human in the fucking first place. She looks like she shaves. Is it just me? Is it just me? Or does it look like she shaves? Like it looks dark around here. I'm telling you, man, CPAD might be Maxwell.
And to try and make us look like a mob. They're trying to change the description of protest.
No, bitch. We're trying to tell you stop sending people outside to attack people because they believe differently. Because y'all losers and y'all losing, and then y'all want us to stop. And y'all think by bullying us that it's going to work. But it's not going to work. What's going to happen is you're going to get someone shot to death. And it will be a fatality that's going to be on your hands. And then people are going to be mad. They're going to be upset. And they're going to say, but this stupid bitch told us to go outside and do it. And then she's going to say, well, I didn't tell you to do it like that. They'll find some reason to say it was your fault. It was on you. Same way they said an all-white group known as Antifa, black.
And call it a mob. Well, this president is the poster boy for what a mob protester looks like. He is, a matter of fact, he's the one who has been violent in his speech. This country is past due for the kind of protest that we have seen women do in the last few days.
Now to think that Congresswoman Maxine Waters could be a committee chairman if Democrats take back the House in 27 days, that brand of
have power,
that could have real consequences.
Well, how would you want
Senator
this bitch to have power?
Kentucky, he issued this urgent warning earlier. Take a look.
When Democrats say get up in their face, they need to realize that there are a lot of unstable people out there. There are people with anger issues. There are people that are prone to violence. They might even live next door to you. You don't know where these people are. But what we shouldn't do is incite people to violence. The problem is rational people might back down. But what's going to happen when the guy comes with a gun to a rally or comes with a knife to a rally? There is going to be an assassination if this doesn't ratchet down. And I think the other side needs to really calm the rhetoric down.
Remember, Senator Paul was attacked in his home. He was a senator whose private information was doxed by far-left activists. Senator Paul's wife, Kelly, now sleeping with a loaded gun by her bed. And sadly, many Republicans' private contact information, that is being made publicly available by extreme left-wing radicals. In fact, one former Democratic intern was recently arrested for publicly outing the personal information of at least one Republican member of Congress. So with 27 days to go until this, the most important midterm.
We're going to crush them in 27 days, and we're going to shut them the fuck up. And then we're going to run shit. We're going to run shit like real bosses do. And we're going to show the whole entire fucking world just how strong of a nation we are. We're going to start letting these dumb motherfuckers speak. Because every time they do, they have nothing to say and they just look stupid as fuck whenever they're on television. Let them assemble, let them do whatever, but once they get into your personal space, you do not stop striking until the threat is neutralized. When you prove a point, other people will stop. Trust me. People do not want to get punched in the face.
Election in our lifetime, you, the American people, have a real choice tonight. Will you reward the tactics of the left-wing mob? Will you support candidates who actually abandon due process, the Constitution, the presumption of innocence? Do you want a country where political differences are demonized day and night, 24/7? Do you want Nancy Pelosi, Maxine Waters, Chucky Schumer, coming after your crumbs and raising your taxes, opening the border, blocking constitutional justices on the Supreme Court? Now, we have good news tonight. Republican candidates, they are picking up huge momentum. According to a brand new poll from Scott Rasmussen, Rasmussen reports, remember, the most accurate poll in the 2016 election, the congressional ballot is now dead even. Another poll showing 62% of Republicans are more likely to vote because of the Kavanaugh controversy and the way that the Democrats act compared to just 54% of Democrats. Now, despite this momentum, Republicans, they are fighting an uphill battle. Make no mistake about it. In the past 100 years, the party that controls the White House has picked up seats in the House only 3 times. But with that said, you still have the power to shock the world again in just 27 days. Look at your screen. If you are in one of these congressional districts, you are going to decide the balance of power in Washington, D.C. Every night this week, we're going to focus on 10 of these critical House races. Tonight, we start in Colorado's 3rd District, where Republican incumbent Scott Tipton currently has an edge over Democratic challenger Diane Bush. In Colorado's 6th District, Republican incumbent Mike Kaufman is in the fight of his life against Democrat Jason Crow. This is a district that Hillary Clinton won by 9 points. Mike Kaufman needs your help tonight. Let's head to New Mexico, the 2nd District there, currently a toss-up. Both candidates fighting for an open seat in a district that President Trump carried by more than 10 points. And meanwhile, there are many toss-up seats in the great state of Texas. Look at Texas, the 7th District. That encompasses part of Houston. Republican incumbent John Culberson is in a very tight race versus Democrat Lizzie Fletcher. In Texas, the 23rd District, Republican Will Hurd is currently favored in a race against Democrat Gina Ortiz-Jones. In Texas, 31 District, another incumbent, Republican John Carter, is also favored against the Democrat M.J. Hager. And meanwhile, the 32nd District in suburban Dallas, well, that's a toss-up tonight between Republican incumbent Pete Sessions and Democratic lawyer Colin Allred. This is a very important seat. Another important race that we're following is in Utah's 4th Congressional District, where Republican rising star Mia Love has an edge over Democrat Ben McAdams. We need Mia Love back in the House. In the state of Washington, Republican House Conference Chair Kathy McMorris-Rodgers has a slight edge over the Democrat Lisa Brown, an important race. In Washington 8, Republican Dino Rossi is facing incumbent Kim Schreier in a race gaining a lot of national attention. Tonight, that race is a dead heat. Now, also tonight, it's very important to focus on the all-important Senate. All the states highlighted on your screen are up for grabs tonight. As we speak, popular Florida Governor Rick Scott, who's done an amazing job. Of course, he's focusing on the current hurricane that is pounding the Gulf Coast of his state and the Panhandle. But his senatorial race against incumbent Democrat Bill Nelson is extremely tight. All right, joining us now to discuss this and much more, the author of the best.
If you don't have the ability to get out to vote, you can use your phone. You can just Google voting online. You can get it done. Let's vote, though, people.
Selling book, The Briefing, Politics, the Press, and the President, former White House Press Secretary Sean Spicer. Also the author, just out this week, a brand new book, Why We Fight, Defeating America's Enemies with No Apologies. Fox News national security strategist, Dr. Sebastian Gorka. So we have Hillary saying we cannot be civil, doesn't want to be civil. And then we have Eric Holder, Sean Spicer saying, kick them when they're on the ground. Wow. Is that what the Democratic Party is now reduced to?
Well, look, Sean, to your point, it was somebody from the left that shot up a congressional baseball game last year, injuring Steve Scalise. It was a mob from the left that attacked Ted Cruz and his wife having dinner. It was a mob from the left that went after Kirstjen Nielsen at her home. It was a mob from the left that attacked Andy Harris at his congressional office, barricading him in and trying to break down doors. If this is what they think is civil, then we've got a big, big problem going on right now. It is the Maxine Waters and the Eric Holders that are talking about fight and putting things in people's faces that is inciting this violence. So I would agree with Senator Rand Paul on this, that we need to take this rhetoric down quick, because the left is listening to those words that are inciting them to violence and action in a very, very violent way, and that needs to stop.
But Dr. Gorka, they're literally saying, get in their faces. They're saying, follow people into grocery.
Yo, you can't even be upset that they're saying it. You can't be appalled. You can't be shocked. You just gotta smack the shit out of somebody's baby. That's it. There's no way around it. You gotta smack the shit out of somebody's baby. When someone is saying, kick them.
Here with Reaction, Fox News contributor Tammy Bruce, author of The Deep State, How an Army of Bureaucrats...
Hear that? Look, and he's edging them on in the back. Look.
And we pray for all of you tonight.
Michelle Obama, I love her, you know.
Look to his left. Look at the dude cheering him on.
But Michelle says that, you know, when they go low, we go high. No. When they go low, we kick them.
See him? See him? See him?
That's what this new Democratic Party is about.
Here with Reaction, Fox News contributor
Tammy
Bruce,
see the crowd. Probably was like
author
10
of
people
The
in the
Deep
room.
State, How an
sending of beheading videos to a senator's wife. It's been across the board, of course, the attempted murder of 24 GOPers, an attempted stabbing of another GOP candidate. But consider this, Sean. These are the same people who, for the last several weeks, have been decrying and going crazy over the issue of violence against women, right? We've been listening to that through the Kavanaugh hearing.
And at the same time,
now here they are.
Violent against women.
For violence against some women, because not all conservatives are men, a lot of us are women. And so this kind of rhetoric, when Eric Holder says they're going to kick us when we're doing politics or whatever it is that they don't like, some of those people who are going to be attacked are going to be women.
This is how they're inciting it up. You're going to get somebody's baby killed. People, I want to thank you for tuning in. I hope I've given you some clarity. I can definitely tell you the hood ain't feeling this. Not at all. We don't want nothing to do with this nut shit. This is a bunch of crazy, democratic, white guilt white folks who can't deal with the fact that they are in the greatest nation ever to ever be existed. We've taken the blueprint of Rome and we have transcended it and taken it to a whole different level. And they mad. Dumb as fuck. I want to thank everybody for tuning in, all my moderators, everybody. Make sure you guys get ready for the evening show. I'm going to get some icy hot from my shoulder and from my neck. My shit is really fucked up. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay American. And fuck the other side, bitch. We don't care.